Have you been wondering when is the right time to start a business, but you keep stalling and waiting for that perfect moment? Well, if this sounds like you, then the time is now, today, this very second, right? There is no time like the present to start a business. So if you don't want to live in regret, then hang around for my top 10 things to consider when starting a business, as this will not only encourage you to stop waiting for that perfect moment, but it will also give you some guidance on what you should consider when starting your business. I'm going to show you why there is never that perfect moment to start a business, and that if you don't do it now, then your business dreams, they're just going to turn into a distant memory of regret, which will haunt you for the rest of your days. Now, before we get started, I want you to know exactly what you're getting yourself into, and my top 10 things to consider will get you business ready, so your business can have every chance for success. My name is Richard G-Cornell, and this channel is dedicated to helping people create their own destinies through business. I've been in business for 30 years helping brands sell more of their products and services, and this has given me a deep understanding of how to start, scale, and promote businesses effectively. But most importantly, I will show you how to cope and succeed in your business journey whilst enjoying it along the way. So let's get into it. So why do you want to start a business? Do you look at business owners with envy and think, they have the perfect life? Or do you think that going into business will give you the freedom to do what you want whenever you want? Or do you think that starting a business will make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams? Well, if you've asked yourself any of these questions, then you wouldn't be the first person to think that. And if I had $1 for every time I've been told that I'm lucky I'm in business, or I'm free to do whatever I want, or I can buy whatever I want whenever I want to, I'd be a millionaire just for those comments alone. But the reality is, business isn't for everyone, and unfortunately, people who have never been in business just don't understand what's involved or what sacrifices that you have to make in order to be successful. All they see, is what appears to be a life of something they consider to be easy, and I think that's why a lot of people who start businesses, they end up failing. So before you get out there and just start a business, you need to seriously ask yourself, why do I want a business? Why do I want to start it? And am I prepared to do whatever it takes to win? And if you can be honest with yourself and you're hell-bent on starting a business, then the time is right for you to start a business today. What is the right business for you? Now, before you go and register a business name, you need to establish what business you want to start and see how that might look for you, right? Now, whether you want to start a business which is in line with, say, one of your passions, something you love doing, or whether you wish to start a business which is trending just so you can make money quickly, either way, you're going to need to ask yourself, does the business I want to start, is it going to make me feel fulfilled? And can I see myself putting everything into it to make it successful? There are so many businesses that one can start, whether it be a product-based business, a service business, an online business, a bricks and mortar business, drop shipping business, a franchise. You can see how difficult it is to decide which business may be appealing, right? So before you even think about the next steps, you need to evaluate the type of business that you wish to start so you can see what that might look for you later, okay? Is there a demand for your products and services? Now, the next thing you will need to do is to decide on the types of products or services you want to sell in your business, okay? And it doesn't matter the type of business that you start. The products or services that you want to sell, they must be in high demand. Otherwise, you'll be facing an uphill battle from the very beginning, trust me. So to know if your products or services are in high demand, you'll need to do some research first. And you can do this in a number of ways. You can use things like Google Trends or shopping sites, just like Amazon, just to see what are their best sellers. But most importantly, you can do some Google research just to see what are the search volumes for the types of products or services you want to sell. And what I mean by search volumes is the amount of people searching for a product or service in a given month in a particular region. And if you can see that the product or service that you want to sell is on the increase and has also been consistent over a period of time, then you're well on your way to starting a business with products or services that a lot of people want to buy, which is most important here. Do you have enough money to start your business? Okay, now it's one thing to have enough money to set up a business name, register a domain name, or have enough money to last you for a certain period of time whilst your business gets up and running, right? But it's a whole nother thing, right, to have enough money to operate in a market sector that is highly competitive, costly to promote, and even more costly to compete with established businesses. So I often get people who I advise telling me that I want to start a business in a particular market sector, but they only have a certain amount of money. And this is where you really need to be careful. And what I mean here is, say you've chosen, right, the type of business that you want to operate in, and you have decided on your products and services you wish to sell, but after doing some homework, you can see that to operate in this space, you're going to require more money than you have. And this is where I tell people that you need to be able to weather the storm for at least 6 months without any income at all, at the very least, just to be able to cover all your business expenses whilst you get on your feet. Now, there's absolutely no point going into a market sector that you simply can't compete in because of a lack of funding, okay? So if this means that you need to choose a different type of business, then that's absolutely fine. The name of the game here is to start a business that you can afford to operate in, not just start and then potentially fail later because you didn't do your investigations properly enough, right? Do you have a good support network? Now, when you decide to start a business, then you're going to need to consider if there's people around you who can support you through the good times and also the not so good times, okay? Business is so taxing both on your mental health and your physical health, and it's not just taxing on you, it's also taxing on the people who love you and support you, and you need to ensure that you not only have a good support network at home, but also a good support network of business people who understand what you experience on a daily basis, okay? And I advise all new business owners just to join networking groups and business groups of like-minded people who can not only support you, but can also give you advice and support through your journey, because trust me when I tell you, right? It's going to be difficult and you're going to need their support. So make sure you've investigated your support network's options first, because that's going to save you a whole lot of heartache later. Now, the next one, is your mindset strong enough to cope in business? And as I said before, business is mentally draining, right? I can't tell you the amount of times I've laid awake at night worrying about everything, whether it be about money, staffing, systems, operations, clients, suppliers, the list goes on. Now I can tell you that after being in business for 30 years, the mental noise, it doesn't stop. There is always something to worry about in business, but the more experienced that you are in your business journey, the better you get at coping with these mental challenges, okay? That's important, you need to remember that. And you also need to know from the outset that business is taxing on your mental health. There will always be something to worry about. So make sure your mindset is strong and you have the mindset techniques ready to apply, because honestly, only the strongest people with the strongest mindsets survive in business, period. Do you have enough time to dedicate to your business? Now, they say that time waits for no man, right? And this is so very true in business. I always use the analogy that there's no pause button in business. You can't just press a pause button so you can have the time to do everything required to do it a certain amount of time, right? If you think that starting a business, you could be a part-time business owner, then guess again, you won't make it, period. And I'm not saying this to scare you, but just to make you aware of what it takes to succeed. Your business will consume you and it won't wait for you to make decisions or do things when you decide to get around to them. You will quickly see in a day how things come up. Expenses need to be paid. You need to know that every waking moment will need to be invested in your business. So you need to be fine with this and look at your current daily schedule to see how starting a business is going to affect your life, right? And if you're not willing to sacrifice your time to succeed, then my advice is to simply not start a business. Your business will be like a newborn child that will need constant care and nurturing every step of the way. So if you're not fine with this, fine, but if you are fine with this, then good on you. You can go for it, but you need to be aware of this from the very beginning. Do you have the skills and experience to run your business? Now, have you ever been around people, I should say, right, or grown up in a household where business has been talked about? So if you have, then it's fair to say that you understand the pros and cons of business, right? No one was born a business owner, and yet as business owners, we're expected to know everything about how to run a successful company. And from the infancy stages of your business journey, you're going to be faced with challenges that you may never have experienced, but you will need to quickly adapt and learn to make sure that your business survives. So with every startup business, I recommend that you try to get a grasp of what it takes, to run a business by reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos, YouTube videos like this from other business owners who can show you the highlights of what it takes to know and what it takes to learn, because your business journey is going to be filled with ongoing learnings. And I can honestly say that after 30 years in business, I'm still learning something new each day, and the learning should never stop. As your business grows, you're going to need to learn more and more as it goes. The more experience you get, the more learning you get. So if you're good with that, you need to have a good understanding of what you need to know. So focus on the learning, focus on every aspect of your business, and you will grow and learn with it. Do you have a mentor or business coach who can guide you? Now, I wish I had a business coach when I first started out in business, okay? Not only would it have saved me a heap of money in all the mistakes I made, but it also would have helped answer so many questions that I was just working out as I went. And I honestly believe that having a business coach or mentor who can guide you through the business journey is so helpful on every level, right? And finding the right business coach or mentor, it's challenging. So you need to find the right coach that has the same sort of is in line with your expectations as well. So starting or running a business is very challenging, but having a business coach or mentor in your corner will help guide you through all the stages in your business. So it's worth looking into seeing how they can help you. I highly recommend it, but find someone who's in line with what your goals and expectations are as well. And lastly, but certainly not least, when should you quit your day job? Well, I want to be as blunt as anything here, right? Only quit your day job if your business can support your way of life. Do not, and I repeat, do not quit your day job if your business cannot support itself. let alone your lifestyle. Now, I love seeing business owners who start out having a heap of enthusiasm, and it's infectious, right? But after the shine wears off and you're in the thick of your business journey, you are soon faced with the reality of the true costs of business, and that's hard, right? So my advice to anyone who wants to start a business is to make them aware of the costs and also the time it takes to get their business to a point where they're self-sustainable. And I strongly believe that if you wish to start a business, perhaps start a side hustle first, right? Just where you can maintain your current income from your day job whilst you use your spare time and savings to test the waters, right? And if you can see that you have what it takes to run a business, and you can see that it's not only exciting, but you're keen to take your startup to a full-time basis, then this is going to save you a whole lot of heartache later, should things not work out in the way that you thought they might have. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing all your investigations into how and when is the right time to start a business, but it's a whole nother thing to go all in from the very beginning with no research. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't start a business full-time if you can address all these points, right? But I think more businesses would survive their first 12 months if the business owners spent more time on researching and testing the waters first before going all in with little or no experience. When I say that now is the right time to start a business, I mean that if you've decided that you want to start a business today, then starting it means starting it with research. If you decide that today you will start, it doesn't mean you'll start trading today, okay? It simply means that you've now decided that you're ready to start exploring what your business will look like. And remember that your business will not start itself. So every day that you've wasted is a day wasted that you can't get back. So go for it and see what sort of business you can see yourself in, and research absolutely everything that you're going to need to know so you can dream about the life you can have one day for yourself and your family. And there is never the perfect time to start a business. So if you want my advice, start a business today and don't look back, okay? So the key takeaways here are: make sure you know why you want to start a business. Start a business that's right for you, okay? What makes you happy? Make sure there is a demand for your products and services. Ensure you have enough money to start a business. Make sure you have a good support network around you. Focus on getting your mindset right. Make sure you have enough time to dedicate to your business, very important. Focus on getting the right skills and experience that you're gonna need. See if you can get someone to support you and guide you through your business. And lastly, be clear as to when the right time to get started is. Now, this wraps up my video today, but if you'd like to learn more about essential strategies in business, then be sure to watch some of my other videos on business fundamentals and mindset, as there are a heap of good content here that can really help you in your business journey, answer a lot of questions, and let me know in the comments below if you're thinking about starting a business, but you're still sitting on the fence and not sure what you want to do, okay? Also, please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. I've got a heap more coming, so thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.